Hey all, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at a game called Age of Water. If you do enjoy this content, please remember to leave a like. Age of Water is a post-apocalyptic multiplayer game where the oceans have risen and there's no land left, and you're just left in a kind of like water world environment. If you've ever seen that Kevin Costner movie. And the main objective of the game is to get salvage, to improve your ship's weapons and equipment and so on. You can even build better ships. You have a base that you can improve as well, where it allows you to basically research new components and build new components. The company that made the game are called Three Wheel Studio. Couldn't find too much info about them, but they use Gaijin's incubator program. Gaijin are the guys who do War Thunder. So yeah, let's take a look.
A long time ago, when the polar ice caps melted, ocean waters gradually flooded the entire surface of the planet. Cities and villages, factories and airports, forests, fields, and even many mountains ended up underwater. Human civilization.
And yeah, here we are in the game world.
Move forward to the edge of the rocky ridge. Markers on the compass, top center.
And yeah, we get taken through a quick little tutorial here.
Turn right around the rocks. Someone is calling for help there.
I mean, when we get into the combat for the game, it kind of feels like War Thunder boat combat. If you ever played that, the low-level boat combat with the gun controls and stuff like that, it feels very similar. The controls of the boat itself are a bit more arcadey, I guess. The game looks decent enough. It's obviously a cartoon stylized approach rather than an ultra-realistic approach like War Thunder. The game has night and day cycle. It also has weather. The weather does directly affect the ocean as well, so it's not always like a calm ocean like this, but can get quite rough at times, and that does affect how you aim with your weapons.
Yay! Oh, I'll be rescued after all! Sharky bandits sank our whole caravan, you know, and... Whoa, who are you? Why do you have a sharky boat? So, you must be a newbie with amnesia? Y'all always appear from nowhere. Amnesia isn't contagious, right? Oh, I got carried away. Let's get acquainted. My name is Kitty Sark. You don't have a machine gun on your boat? That's not right. The place is swarming with sharky gangs. We need a machine gun ASAP. Just pick up the machine gun. It's there in the wreckage. It's gonna be a bit too hard without one. Hooray! Now we have a machine gun.
Here we get a brief look at the item placement on boats. So basically you can loot items like guns and this bamboo armor that I've got, and you can place them on your boat. They lock onto certain spots, and obviously the bigger boats you get, the more room you have. This is quite a small boat.
I know that sharkies have a treasure map. Let's get it.
I guess my first kind of gripe about this game is what we've seen just there with the voice acting and the character interaction. It's not very good. The voice acting itself is decent enough, it just doesn't seem to go along with the cartoon style characters, you know.
They must still have the map. Sink
So here we'll get to
Captain.
see some of the combat.
Captain, hold the boost for shark turrets. Just keep an eye on the battery charge. We are in luck. The map is intact. As soon as we are able to decrypt it, we'll go look for the treasure. All we have to do is get a decent boat and assemble a crew. The Mantis Bar is nearby. It's a frequent haunt for unemployed sailors. Maybe we'll manage to hire someone.
As this is the start of the game, you're not in the open world yet, you're kind of in an area where you just run through some quests to get used to the game.
We see a mine. Careful, Captain. In these waters, you could easily run into an ancient mine and end up swimming with the fishes.
Here we'll get to see a bit more of the dodgy storyline.
Hey, Gorge. Regis, I'm Mantissa. I run the Mantis Bar. They call me Female Mantis by my back, but don't be afraid yet. You here on business or to relax, handsome?
Oh, gee, thanks.
Captain, there's loot in the cargo hold. I can sort it. Resources for repairing and making things always come in handy.
So we picked up a new crew member there. Crew members are pretty important. They do different tasks on the ship, from sorting out junk to repairing to manning the weapons. You can also level up crew members as well that allow you to unlock different bonuses for different tasks on the ship. Here we'll take a look at the combat again. Now, I'll go over the stats of the boats that you see on screen. So the bottom and the kind of phallic shape, that's your boat. The outer edges are basically your armour. And then the numbers inside, I'm not 100% sure what the left-hand number is, but the right-hand number is how much water the boat can take on. So we'll see here when I do a bit more damage to this guy, this pirate boat, rubber boat 1. There we go. I took his armour down and now he's taking on water. Once that water maxes out, the boat sinks. And that'll happen to you as well. Also as well, when you take out boats, they drop loot. It's worth picking the loot up all the time. Sometimes it can be just basic stuff that is used for repairing. Other times it can be weapons and other gear. But the mission we picked up from the other place was basically to find a new boat. A bigger one than this.
Look, it's all here. I wonder why no one has taken it yet. Above us! Shoot the hang gliders!
Here we get to see some different types of enemies. These gliders are quite light and easy to take out. I've not found any really hard air targets yet. Obviously we got our new boat as well. And as you can see, it's a lot bigger. Actually has a winch on the back that helps you get loot from the bottom of the ocean.
Cap, we'd better patch up the boat. At a closer look, it's pretty banged up. I know a workshop nearby where they'll give you a barge that's almost new without asking too many questions. Shall we?
Captain, now we have a pump. When the hull is breached, I'll pump the water out.
As you mentioned about the pump there, basically if you're taking on water, you've taken heavy damage. You can actually press spacebar and all your crew will go to repair. And it's kind of like an emergency repair mode to save your life.
The workshop owner is like a brother to me. We grew up on the same pontoon. And he owes me, so we're all good there.
Here we get to see the enemy using a different type of weapon again. This is a cannon. Obviously it's high damage but slow firing. You can get these yourself, of course. Any weapons you see the NPC using, you can actually get as well.
We just need to choose the holes line.
Here we get to see a bit more about the boat crafting. You can choose different materials to make the hull out of. Obviously they give different bonuses and negatives depending on what you choose. You also don't have to have the entire boat made out of the same thing. It can be mix and match. So you say you could have like metal at the front and the back if you're more of like a person who likes to fight head on or make sure you got a bit of defense when running away. Or of course you could do the entire boat out of the same material. Obviously if you chose metal it would slow things down quite a bit. So here again, you know, it's just showing how you can place things on a boat. Like I said, this one's got a bit more space than the original one. So I can put an extra few components down on there. Barrels are used for your crew to kind of take cover from attacks. And then these are also important. They're basically what generate power for your boat. So some places you can also repair your boat at like this. Now we'll once I figure it out, we'll jump in there and repair the boat.
We just need to choose the holes lining, mount the steering.
Yes, after the repairs, the boat
There we go.
just
Now
feels
everything's fully
different.
repaired.
eager to fight.
Also at the bottom of the screen you can see a battery icon. That's how much power your boat's got. Now you can use shift to kind of turbocharge the engine to go fast. That uses up power. Using your weapon also uses up power.
Captain, what's that on the left of us?
Hi, surfacers. It's nice to breathe in some fresh air, you won't believe. Looks like I've surfaced just in time. Look, the canary has kicked the bucket. Poor bird.
Oh, the witches boil. Well, when you see steam all around and the water turns white, stop the boat at once. Otherwise, we'll lose the hull's lining. Well, they say it's the spirit of the depths boiling out of a giant scuttlefish. Oh, maybe it's nonsense, but it's better to stop.
You'll meet people like that throughout the game. Basically at the start, especially, they help progress the main storyline. They'll send you off to do different things, gather different items, kill different mobs, standard MMO quests basically. And some of them progress the main story, like I said, others are just side quests. Obviously I'm taking a bit of damage here, just now, as you probably noticed, my guy started pumping because they took full damage, because they broke through the armour. And on this ship you can actually see the armour segregated into a lot more different parts, unlike the old rubber boat. Here we get to see what it's like at night as well, and also how to basically fish stuff from the bottom of the ocean.
To run the winch. Pick up the container when the dredge is done. Great. Now choose craft. Then select the machine gun, press the craft button, and choose me and the crew.
Here we get to see the item crafting, or at least the basic crafting anyway. You get more advanced crafting later on when you get a base. You get to choose who does the crafting. I'm not sure if that affects the quality of the weapon or something like that. I've not done enough of it yet myself.
The machine gun's ready to be mounted on the deck. But first, remove the barrel and mount a generator. The machine gun needs powering.
So yeah, and now we get to fit the machine gun that we've just made. It's actually a better version of like the machine gun that we currently got on there. So what I'll do is kind of remove the one that's there and replace it with this bigger one. Once I figure out how.
Now we can tear apart that pirate on the trimaran flying the black flag. The one Jimmy was talking about. The pirate trimaran is ahead. Send it to the bottom. Shoot the engine and the barrels.
So here you get to see a kind of first boss mob. Now there's different parts of the boat you can actually shoot and destroy. There's like these barrels that you can blow up on the sides, and they obviously take off a lot of the HP of the boss mob. I guess it's just kind of typical boss mechanics for games like this. And you can also take out components as well. You can actually take out the gunners and other components of the ship as well to slow it down. And you can actually do that with all ships, not just boss mobs. And here we just finish
Our treasure chest. It's huge, but it has a tricky look on it. One you can't just pick.
We're gaining more experience, Captain. When you have a spare minute, select new skills for
So we'll get to
everyone.
see the skills for the crew now. Like I mentioned before, they level up. And as you can see, they have different types of skills depending on what kind of class they are. This guy's a helmsman, so he gets kind of skills related to that, as well as some general skills as well. Same with all of them. The next person's a shooter, so she kind of gets dedicated weapon skills more than anything else. This guy's kind of a general crewman, so you get a lot of different types of skills as he moves along. And this one's a sailor, but he kind of dedicates to crafting, so he gets better crafting and repair skills.
Looks like we're here. We need to get closer and activate the translocator.
So yeah, this is basically the end of the tutorial. You now transport to the main open world.
Hooray, Captain! We did it. We are in the center of the sector. All we have to do now is get to the city in the north. All hands on deck, full speed ahead. Set course to the north.
So I just quickly skipped ahead here to show the kind of the main player hub area, I guess, where you get quests from and where you'll see other players here. You can buy and sell items. This is where your HQ will be, where you can build a base. And yeah, it's quite big. There are places like this scattered around the map, but not quite as big as this one. This is the main hub as far as I can tell. We also get to see a few other players sailing around here as well. So there we go, guys. That is Age of Water, an open world survival boat game. Hopefully it gives you a basic idea what it's about. When you get into it further than this, the game opens up a bit more. You get your own HQ where you can craft your own boats, your own equipment, you set up production lines and so on. So it's quite interesting. I guess the downside for me is obviously the character and the way the voice acting interacts with the characters. It doesn't seem quite right. And also the open world is a bit boring. Obviously it's just a big ocean. So it can get quite boring when you're doing the long distance travelling. But overall it's not a bad game. I would probably say wait until a sale to pick it up though. I just want to say thanks to everyone again. If you want to see more like this, please like and subscribe. I'll be trying to release a video once a week to eventually get through my entire Steam library. See you in the next one.